Welcome back to your favorite podcast, But Do You Have a Real Job? With your host, Mario Mitchell.
It's me, Mario.
The E is on there for mainly for copyright. You know, there's a lot of potions, but there's, you know, it's kind of how I stick out or whatever.
Dude, yeah, I fucking hate that because when I started, I named myself Purple Hearts, and there's a fucking British band called Purple Hearts.
Yeah, but they're old as fuck.
Right, they're old and not good. I mean, they're okay, I guess. It's just not my style. And
right.
And yeah, but I see in some places they're called the Purple Hearts. So I'm like, I don't know, whatever. I'm using the name.
There's no one like actively doing it. Like I think that was mainly past stuff. It's a bunch of older videos.
Yeah, I was reading into it a little bit, and people were saying basically nothing can really happen as long as people can distinguish the two different people. So like, it's not like I'm promoting myself like Justin Bieber. I'm Justin Bieber. Come buy my tickets, you know, because people might get confused. But when people come to my shows or come onto my page, they know, okay, this is this Purple Hearts. I know who this is. Just like when they come to your page, they're probably not expecting, you know, the other potion, whoever that is.
Well, there is a band. It's an actual band, and they're called Potion. But I mean, mad respect to them because I mean they're just regular Potion.
Yep. And they come up with a cool name, so
they're like a black metal band or something though. So it's definitely easy to distinguish the two.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's not like people would be confused.
No.
It's weird how names work. It's like you could come up with the shittiest name or have a really good name, and it doesn't really matter. You ever think about those band names like Papa Roach? And like, think about that name, Papa Roach. It just sounds retarded.
Doesn't make fucking sense.
Fucking what was some of those other bands? Like they were really bad. Korn with a K. I mean, come on, man.
Korn.
That's a kind of a stupid name.
I mean, just it's so silly. Like I guess it doesn't matter so much the name.
Right. It's weird, but I really like the name. I'm like, I need a good name. And you got a cool name.
Yeah, you got a good name, bro. You got a really good name.
I thought it fit well with the music I'm putting out.
It's crazy because I found out about you through it was YouTube. It was like recommending your video, and so obviously you're doing something right because YouTube's recommending.
Back when I was monetized. How long ago was that? Do you remember?
Like right before I hit you up for the feature.
Oh, okay. So that was like pretty recently.
Yeah, really recently.
I mean, in the span of time, yeah, it's like pretty recent. So that's good that it was recommended.
Yeah, it just came up recommended, and I watched it. It was just I'll Be Just Fine. That's the video that came up.
Yeah, that would actually make sense. I was so
impressed, man.
Because like actually it's really funny timing because I had this YouTuber shouted out that I had never even heard of. He was like a gaming YouTuber, and he commented on my video like a month before that, and he was like, "Hey, would you be cool if I put this in my video?" I'm like, dude, fuck yeah, I don't care. I don't know who he was. I was like, yeah, whatever. I just didn't even care. And the next thing I know, I woke up and everybody's commenting on my video. And I was like, what the hell? Why are all these people commenting on my video? And then I realized, holy shit, this guy shouted me out on his YouTube channel, and he actually has a bunch of subscribers. And now they're all on my video. And I think YouTube algorithm, they were like, hell yeah, let's push this music out to other people. So maybe that was like a reason you saw it. That's pretty fucking cool.
I mean, there's a good chance, man, because I mean, when YouTube's like recommending it through the feed, that's a really good sign.
Right, especially in today's world, it's so hard to get your video out there.
Yeah, man, I understand. There's a lot of struggles that you got to go through, and man, I'm sure you know more than anyone. So.
Right, yeah, dude, it sucks. I mean, everybody that's in the industry just knows it's a grind. It's a hustle every day. But we recently fucking collabed. That was cool, man. Thanks for having me on that track.
Yeah, bro. No, thank you, man. Thank you for being on the track. I was so excited when you said you were down to do it. And I immediately just went to my laptop and started recording and just finished it up as quick as I could. That way it was still fresh on your mind. And I was like, yo, man. But she actually hit me back, and that was really cool.
Hell yeah, man. I've never even done a collab. I had a couple people hit me up, but I was like, nah, whatever. And when I heard the song, I'm like, dude, I could fucking do something with that. I was like,
Right.
once you send it to me, I could do something with that. I was like, I could definitely write. Even when I listened to it for the first time, I had the words coming to my head immediately. It was like clicking. I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect for me. And
That's
the
good.
song vibed with my vocals and the way I sing, so I was cool with that.
Well, I mean, it's just like I could tell like you were going through a lot, or you had been going through a lot, like based on your lyrics or whatever.
Right.
And so like I was going through a lot, and I really thought you'd be able, like we would be able to sync up on that wavelength there.
Oh yeah, it was cool as fuck. The music was
So
dope. You found that beat just on YouTube?
yes. Yeah, I found it.
Is
It's a producer. His name is Nocturnal with an X. And he's got some pretty good beats.
Yeah, I've been looking ever since we did that. I've been like thinking, fuck, that's a good way to put out a lot of content. You can just find a bunch of good beats and just
Dude,
write
and,
on that.
and like as long as you like shout out your producers and whatnot, like they're always really cool. Like it's always
Hmm.
one extra person backing you.
What I
And
was actually confused about is because you actually did you mix the song over the vocals over the song? I would
yes.
have. It's weird that the vocals sounded that good because when I've done
Dude,
that in the
okay,
past,
so
my
so
vocals
with
have
your
sounded
vocals, it was really easy to do yours because like what I did with my vocals was that was one of the only songs I did a one take. I just had the lyrics on my phone and I just hit record. That entire song was a one take. And then I went back, I doubled everything up, and then I went back and did two more takes. So a total of four takes, and then two soft pans, two hard pans, and that just creates like a surround sound effect.
right,
And but when it came to your vocals, like you just had like that clean take. So it's just one take. So I just
right.
took it, doubled it, panned it, and then put
Yeah,
the
because
same
yeah,
effects. I had my presets, the same effects that I used on my vocals. I just used the same thing on your vocals, and it just made your vocals sound godly. So I was like, all right, that's it.
yeah, it worked
Perfect.
out. I thought it worked out real well. I was like, damn, it's crazy. But it's crazy that that's the world we live in, where we can just go on YouTube and find somebody else's song that's already written and done, and you can come up with your own song on top of that.
Right. Well, I was always told to take advantage of free beats, and
Right.
so I mean, you could potentially put out a lot of content, but you also have to like pay those producers in order to lease the beats
Hmm.
if you're going to be making any kind of money off of it.
Right. Yeah. That's. I have a one beat I found the other day. I'm totally gonna do it, but I need to get a lease. Yeah. But you can get like a lease. What do you know the difference between a regular lease and like an unlimited lease? Or
I'm not sure about an unlimited lease, what that would mean. It might mean like you can get as many leases from that producer as you want, type of thing. I know the big difference is like you can get a lease and you can get an exclusive. And the
Mhm.
lease, anyone can buy that beat. Anyone can use that beat. So it matters what you do with it. But an exclusive, if you buy the exclusive rights to a beat, no one else can use that. It's yours.
Right. That's what I've been thinking because I don't know if I want other people to have that same beat, but in the short term, I could also put out a bunch of content real quick just by leasing out a song here and there.
Honestly, it doesn't matter as long as your song's the best.
Right, I don't think it does either. Like everybody does their own thing over the beat, and it's not like there's like four mainstream people putting out the same beat.
A- And
That'd be a
another
little weird.
thing is like if it ever like blows up, you can always go back and talk to that producer and buy the exclusive rights, and
Right.
you'll buy the exclusive to that song, but everyone who used the lease up to that point can still use it.
Right. Yeah, that'd be cool as fuck. You need to start doing
So
that. How many
yeah,
times
it's
have
it's
you
a
done
cool
that?
way to. How many times have I done that?
Right.
Oh, countless. Like
Right. Just infinite because you can just download them immediately.
you can
Man,
download them,
that's a
and
crazy way.
a lot of these producers they'll put their beats up for free download. They'll just let you download them with the tag.
Right.
They'll have their producer tag, and then you can get the beats tagless. Or I personally don't mind the tag.
Yeah.
You
Usually
know, you
I did a couple rap tracks with tags, and you just kind of work them into the song.
right.
And it's not really that weird. A lot of people, even big people, have tags from their producer that they put in.
Yeah, they do. Indeed.
Not DJ Khaled. You know what a DJ Khaled song is when it's playing.
Yeah, for
DJ
sure.
Khaled, another one. It's like, come on, man. You really got to put that many in there? What the fuck are you doing?
Right. Yeah, for like the tag has to be good for me. Like if the tag's bad, then I won't even use the beat. Like even if the beat's fire, it's got to be a really good tag.
Oh yeah, I can't have a shitty tag in there. It's like this is my song I'm
I,
giving out to my fans. It can't
I
sound like
think
shit.
my favorite one was it said, "Ooh, we love sake."
Oh, that's a pretty good one. I'm down with that.
So I mean, yeah, that's like shit like that's cool, but purchase this beat now. No, we're not gonna use that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Or it'll be like on B stars, and then it'll like be saying behind it the whole time B stars or something. It's like, come on, fuck that. I don't want that on there.
Right.
You
But
got those ones that are like, yeah, ho. I think that's like a Juicy J thing. Every time Juicy's on a song, you got yeah hoes in the background. I'm like, you know what? I'm cool with that. If yeah hoes are in my background, I can make that work.
yeah, it works. Whatever. I mean,
Man, it's so weird. So how'd you come up with the name Potion? Obviously,
uh,
you have
so
other
it's
people have the name, but you came up with the name in your own way.
it started with like cosplay. Like I went to a lot of like conventions and stuff, and a lot of people dress up. A lot of people have like outfits, and I always wanted to do my own outfit. So I figured I would like imagine myself as an anime character, and so I would like collect these potion vials, and that was like my thing to collect. And eventually, like it just started as like the potion maker, as in like the wizard. And because like you got your wizard, your archer, and your warrior, in your like basic RPG games. I'm a big nerd, but
Okay.
so like the potion maker was the mage, and then eventually it shortened down to potion. And my buddy Shinigama, kind of like Shinigami, but with an A. He was like, "Yo, dude, you should like put an E on there. Like, it's not gonna change the way it sounds, and it'll make it more original." And so we had
Yeah.
like this backward ass E. Like, it was really silly,
Yep. That's cool
but
though.
that's how it all started, man. It was just me collecting potion vials, and then eventually became something bigger.
Right. Yeah. That's weird because when I came up with my name, I was like driving around where I'm from in Missouri, and there's signs everywhere saying like Purple Heart Trail, Purple Heart City, Purple Heart County, Purple Heart everything, and
Okay.
so I'm like driving around and I'm seeing it right all the time, and this is before I even had the name Purple Hearts. And I was just driving around and seeing it all the time, and then one day I'm thinking, fuck, I need a new name for this thing I'm doing. And then one day it just clicked. I was like, dude, that'd be a cool name. Like Purple fucking Hearts. You know? I was like, that'd be fucking dope. And then I'm thinking, shit, maybe subconsciously those signs were fucking with me. And it just, said Purple Hearts,
And it
Purple Hearts.
led up to that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like
Maybe.
fate brought you to that name.
Exactly.
You didn't
But
choose that name, the name chose you.
maybe it did, which is weird. Uh, no, whenever you were talking about your name, I was thinking of Ocarina of Time or Zelda just in general. You're saying potion vials. I was like, you
Okay.
must be a huge Zelda fan if you're collecting potion vials. That's
Bro, I fucking love the Zelda, man.
okay. That's what I'm talking about. I'm down with Zelda. I just
It's
unfortunately
the
had to sell my Ocarina of Time game and my N64, unfortunately.
damn, bro.
But
Well, I
I'll have to
mean,
get one in the future again.
that's cool though. So you do play video games. I was kind of wondering that.
I don't anymore. That's why I sold it. It was just like
You
I
played
haven't
the
played
older
it.
games.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I play Call of Duty sometimes if I have it. I don't know where
Okay.
it went. I had it and it disappeared. So I don't know. I don't play it anymore. I'm like, fuck it.
Right.
It's hard to play games when you got so much to do. Like when I was 20, up till I was about 23 or probably 24, I was always playing games. And then the second I started this, it was like games are over. It was like, fuck.
No
But
more
now,
games.
yeah, I don't even think about it really. I'm like, do I want to play a game or do I want to go live? What will do more for me, going to play this fucking game or going live on Instagram? So
Yeah.
I either just go live on Instagram. I don't
So
feel
you
justified.
decided to just take your music real seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh, okay, you're getting there. Yeah. Isn't it weird? the way we live now. This YouTube, everything is fucking weird. And
Dude,
what we're doing right
everything's
now is
evolving.
weird. Like what we are doing right now is fucked. I am talking
I,
to you. You're in Texas somewhere. We're on an interview podcast, and we're both. I'm recording this as we speak. Recording it. Like I could have never dreamed of that happening back when I was like 14, which is about
right.
16 years ago.
Well, I remember when YouTube didn't even have ads on it, man.
Oh yeah, YouTube was barely a thing. You know, it was like now I live on YouTube. But back when I was 20, even 21, it was like you'd barely go on YouTube for anything except to
Yeah,
watch
there
the
wasn't there
viral
wasn't nearly
videos.
as much content.
Yeah, only the viral stuff was on YouTube, and you were always watching that shit. Man, that what's his fucking name? Unforgettable. That guy. I want a chicken sandwich, just a waffle fries for free. You remember that guy?
Uh-uh.
Oh God, that's crazy that you don't know who that is. I'm trying to think of a different viral person. That ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh
No, that
my
wasn't.
goodness.
I don't know if that was YouTube or not, but I think it was. Just
That
shit
was
like that went viral on
everywhere.
YouTube.
That
Yeah,
was everywhere, man. You seen that on the news.
right. Literally. Now we got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't even use Facebook or Twitter. I only have fans on Instagram.
Right. Yeah, that's my main platform as well.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I have my Facebook, but all my Instagram posts go to my Facebook, so I don't even post on there. It's weird.
Okay.
I don't like Facebook. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's not a I mean, it's useful for like a few things, keep in contact and whatnot. But
Right.
you gotta use them. Like you gotta realize that these platforms are free, so it's not like we're paying for them, and
Right.
they're there for us to promote our music.
That is true. They're just like kind of fucking up right now with the algorithms. Instagram used to be killing the game. You know, you would post and all your people would see it. Your engagement would
Yeah,
be through the roof. Your impressions would be through the roof because everybody would see it because it was in chronological order. So if I posted right now and you refreshed, you would immediately see my post. Now it's like, you know, it's like I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to find here, but it's the algorithm just puts what they want to put in front of you, the things that they think that you're gonna like, instead of
right. It's really particular, man. It's really particular. I don't know. I've looked a lot into it. Hashtags are important, and timing is also important. Like there's certain times of day that you can post, and those are like the sweet spots for social media in general. And
right,
so like it's not like wise to make a post like real late at night, or that you want to wait till like around lunchtime. That's when everyone's on their phones, like somewhere
right.
towards the middle of the week. And that's surprising to me because I figure everyone would be on their phones on the weekend, but it's mainly like Tuesday and Wednesday. That's when everyone's on their phones.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I would think the weekend probably too. That's why I go live on the weekends, at least most of the time, because more people are at least able to watch. Like people that are in school, they're usually in bed and shit. They can't be up watching my live stream, even though
Right.
everybody is for some reason. Man, it's so weird. I didn't even have a cell phone up until like 19 years old, maybe 18. I don't remember.
Yeah, now it's way different. Everyone
Every
has a cell phone.
every fucking person. I was at a DoorDash thing earlier, and I was like dropping off food, and this mom was like telling her daughter, and I could tell that her daughter was like a toddler, like young, and she was like, "Get off your phone!" Right? I was like, "Your phone? What the hell do you mean your phone? What the fuck is wrong with you people?" And people wonder why kids are so fucked up. It's like they're given everything at like 12 years old, like 10, some like
Yeah,
8. You know, like so young. They have the
sensory
whole world.
overload.
Mm-hmm.
There's just too much.
I used to have to call my friends on a landline. Yo, what's going on? Can you come over to my house? It's just a bunch of weird shit. And now we live in the digital age. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty cool because it was a lot harder to create in those like beginner stages. I
Oh yeah.
remember like recording software. It used to be a lot more rare. A lot less people used it, and
Yep.
it was so much different, man. It was so much different.
Oh yeah.
Making a lot of jumps there. But I mean, it's cool. It is cool. I do gotta ask, like, who produces your music?
A guy in Springfield, his name is Kevin Gates, but he's not the
Okay,
rapper. But yeah, he's cool as fuck. I found
he's
him a
not the
long.
rapper. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets that all the time. He said he used to get like fan mail for the rapper Kevin Gates. He's like, what? And but no, I found him a long time ago. He used to produce Never Shout Never. I don't know if you know who that is. And
Yeah.
another band called, what was her name? The Ready Set or something like that. But I found him from those people. And I was like, oh, that's their producer. I need to go hit up that guy. And I never did because that was a long time ago. And then when I said, fuck it, I'm doing Purple Hearts. I need a producer. I hit up Kevin. He was like, fuck yeah. And
Really? So
the
that's the
second
same
I
guy who
went,
produced for Never Shout Never, then,
yeah, he
and all
produced
those guys.
a big EP, the Yippee EP, I think is what it was. That was all him, I think. I'm pretty sure it
No
was.
kid.
He got
That's
like
insane,
he got
man.
like a gold record on his wall and shit from it. I'm like, damn, crazy as shit. I wish I had one of those.
Right? Yeah,
I
your
wish I could give
quality,
you one of
man.
those.
You're right, right. Your quality's extremely good, and that was the first thing that came to mind because, like, we all like, as beginner artists, we always have our producers, and whoever your producer is, man, he does a damn good job. He
Oh
does
yeah,
really good.
I think he does too. That's why I stick with him. You know, he's fucking real good. People always come up to me sometimes like, "Yo, man, you should let me produce your next shit." I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I
No
got my
thanks.
guy. I know it'll be quality, and every time I go there, it's good. Like
It's worth it. It's worth it for
right.
you to do that.
It definitely is. Who produced your shit?
Well, the dude who taught me everything I know is Shinigama,
Okay.
and he basically taught me how to like run the recording software. He sold me my mic, and he gave me a few mics, but he basically like started me off and like showed me how to produce and mix and master. Like it's really not too hard. And there's a lot of tutorials for it too.
Oh
So
yeah.
like any of the blanks I just filled in with like YouTube videos, and after he produced that first EP for me, I went off and just started doing it on my own.
Hell yeah. I wish I could do that. I'm not good. But I don't have like any room either. I could not ever dream of
Well,
doing my
stay
vocals
with
here.
your producer, man. Like you're better off using him anyways,
Oh
because
yeah.
then you can focus more on other things, and you can
Right.
just take your ideas to him.
Yeah, I wish I had even more people working for me that I didn't have to focus on anything but the music. You know how good that would feel? That'd feel so fucking good.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
mean, we got to work our way up to that. Maybe someday.
I think about it all the time. It's the only reason I don't quit. Because I'm thinking the satisfaction that you will feel if you make it will be so much greater than anything you could ever dream of. Just fuck. That would feel crazy.
Right. Well, it's all in the eye of the beholder, man. Just like you gotta accept where you're at and be happy with where you're at. And I mean, like it's cool because like you get to meet some really cool people, and I think that's what makes it worth it. Like but I mean, there's more to accomplish, and there's more people to meet. So
Yeah, it's like we haven't even touched the surface of people. Like nobody knows anything about us. It's weird.
not at all, not at all. What state do you live in?
Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fucking terrible. I'm trying to get out of here, but it's
You
so
don't
cheap.
like it?
It's so hard. Yeah, it's so cheap though. It's not fun here. It's not like there's much going on, but there's not much going on anywhere. You know, about the same shit.
Well, you still have your kick-ass producer close, so I would stay close by that.
That's cool, but you know, I could come back for that. Worst case, I guess. I prefer not
Yeah.
to, but yeah, Missouri's not too bad. I guess it's just really cheap. That's the only reason I'm here at the moment, and because I don't know where else to go. It's I don't know how much you guys pay for rent down there, but it's real cheap here. I think my studio apartment's $525 a month. It's pretty luxury in here, but then I gotta pay utilities and shit. So it's like $600, and I live by myself. A lot of
Yeah,
people
that's
in
not bad.
a lot of people in a lot of states couldn't say that. They're like $600. What do you live in a shack? I'm like, dude, hell no. You can get a fucking house here for $600 a month. I mean, even cheaper sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about the same here in Texas. It's not too much more expensive. It kind of depends on like how you want to live or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's all true. You got, I mean, people like to live lavishly when they ain't got no money. It's like, don't do that.
Yeah, see, like I live on the minimal shit and I'm happy.
Right. Yeah, there's no need for extra. Like, yeah, I got my fake Supreme hoodie and shit. It's like, come on, man. You ain't got to put on a front. I know where you work.
Oh, that's silly, but true. True.
It's ridiculous. So, how did you get started with music? Why did you think music was the best idea?
I mean, I've always just done it for fun. It's just been me and my buddy, and we've been in several bands together. It started out as like a melodic hardcore beat down band. I was playing guitar, and then eventually we did a few more projects, and we had a lot of good stuff going. And he always Shinigama, he always like kept me with him. Like no matter what band it was, he was like, "Yo, do you want to play bass?" And so I would play bass, or it was just whatever position needed to be filled. And
Right.
eventually, it came to the point where it was just time for like him to do his music, and he just was like, "Yo, let's do something for you." Like
Right. Hell yeah.
so, I mean, I had like a bunch of ideas, and I had about every instrument that I needed, and so just hit record. That's all it's ever been. Just hit record and
Right.
see what happens.
How did you record that EP with the song Glitch and I fucking can't remember all the other ones.
So that was the self-titled EP. That was the Potion EP, and we recorded that one off of a laptop with FL Studio, a microphone, and he had like a little MIDI keyboard, and we would sit there, and we also had my guitar, my 8-string guitar,
Right.
and I would just come to him with a guitar riff or like a melody or an idea, or we would just start from scratch and write one with the synthesizers. And a lot of the times he would just like come up with a beat, and then he would send me that beat. I would listen to that beat at work on my headphones, and I would just like come up with the lyrics in my head and write that down, and then by the time I came home it was time to record.
Right. That's dope. Yeah. I was wondering, I was like, these don't sound like pre-bop beats. I was like, these sound like they were made specifically for these songs. So I thought it was
Yeah,
cool as
yeah,
fuck.
he was making well, like Death Kids is our label. So he was making all of Death Kids beats. He would make me some beats, he would make all the homies beats.
That's cool
Like,
as fuck.
specifically for them. Like he would just write stuff from scratch, and then, this sounds like a potion beat, send it over to him.
Right. Yeah, those beats sounded crazy. Like all those
Yeah,
sounds going
bro.
on in there, those little sounds just make it perfect.
Dude,
It makes that EP fucking sound good. It like gives you you're like this is what I'm about in that EP.
right. Yeah, it was just so weird like how everything came out, cuz we didn't really know what we wanted to do with it, and I wanted to just jumble up a bunch of different sounds and see if like I could make a new sound.
Right.
And I like to dive into the past. Like I like get a lot of influences from older bands, and so it was really cool like throwing a lot of those older elements in with like a lot of this newer technology we have, because
Right.
it was never like that. Like it's just so
Fuck.
insane, and he's all about like being like at the like using all the state of the art stuff, the top of the line equipment and whatnot. And so it's just like it's cool to me. It's cool that you can just write that stuff from scratch.
Right. Yeah, I would like to do more of that, just to put out more content. That'd be dope as fuck. What bands did you grow up listening to? You're talking about you like to throw older bands' elements into your new music, which is cool. I think everybody does that, even though if they don't want to admit it, I think they do. Uh, but what bands
Well,
did you grow up listening to?
I always grew up listening to a lot of like the earlier rock like Pink Floyd, and like Dark Side of the Moon is one of my favorite albums.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of like it was a lot of the underground stuff that I listened to, and it was all because my dad, he would have like these old like Under Oath and and like Zayo and just like weird like melodic hardcore bands from the early 2000s, and even like Sepultura and just random like like straight up metal bands. And so I grew up listening to a lot of metal.
Yeah, me too. Not a lot of metal, but some metal. Uh, like that. But like that was considered metal. Like not that, but like Metallica. It's
A
metal.
lot of Metallica, yeah.
It
Metallica
it
was a big deal.
it's metal, just not where metal is right now. Metal right if you
No,
listen to metal right now in metal Metallica seems like soft rock in comparison to what metal sounds like right now.
in comparison to the way things have evolved.
I saw this funny meme. I want to show it to you right now. Uh, this is it says for the people listening and can't watch it, it's a fucking meme of a guy that's dressed up as a scene rocker with his leather jacket, and it says fan of Metallica, and then on the other side it says vocal of Metallica, and he's dressed up in plaid shorts and a t-shirt and flip flops. He looks like a dad, and I think he just went to Armani and bought some clothes. Hang on, let me try to see. So there's a guy. It says fan of Metallica. He looks like that. And then
Right.
there's the vocalist of Metallica looking like that. But it's just funny.
This
Like
James Hetfield in plaid shorts.
that's not metal. That's not metal. But hey, you're a fucking old rock star. I don't know what to dress like. I'd be going to Armani too. Fuck. He's a
Yeah.
he's like one of the founders of not founders of metal. That's incorrect. But a lot of bands right now that are getting interviewed, it doesn't matter who, just any metal band. They're like, "Oh, what are your influences?" And almost every time somebody says Metallica.
Right. Yeah, it's I mean, they're worldwide, man. They're the only band that's played on every continent.
That's fucking crazy.
But they I mean, dude, they are pretty cool, like especially their earlier albums. I think it was their first 3 albums. Everything they wrote with Dave Mustaine. Was good.
Yep. I didn't really listen to a bunch of Metallica, just like some choice songs. They were like, "Damn, that's a good song." But I wasn't
Yeah.
really into metal. I was into like the emo shit. Like you were probably into it too, but Good Charlotte back when they first released all their first shit, and then Sum 41, Blink 182, Angels and Airwaves
Okay.
when they first
Okay.
dropped their shit. The Killers were in there. Fountains of Wayne for some reason. I love their CD. Just that kind of music. I was
So
really into
more
that.
of the poppy sound, a
Right,
lot more of like the pop punk type stuff.
right. Green Day was in there a lot. Those fucking
Oh yeah,
bands.
you can't go wrong with Green Day.
But yeah, it's weird that you can hear it in the music that I'm writing now. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, I guess you could, but it's just it's so different, man. Like you get like that poppy, but it's also like the beats are so well produced. Like you just I don't know, man. It's really fun. Like I'll just be walking around listening to your music. Like this is good stuff.
Fucking emo as shit. Like,
It
we're
is emo as shit.
emo is coming back. I don't give a fuck. Emo is coming back. I was looking at your page the other day though, and you have a bunch of anime shit. I noticed, and it's weird.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
is that like a way to promote your music? Do a lot of anime people listen to your music?
I guess it's more or less like just weeb shit, man. We just fucking I'm either like I make AMV edits and it's basically like you like put an anime to your song and like I'm really big on not only doing that for my own music but for doing that for other artists. And I don't really ask for anything in return. Like I just do it for people and I'm like one of the only people that legitimately you can hit up and like have one of those made and not be like charged anything because a lot of people they're charging like $20 a video, like anywhere from like 20 to $100 a video,
And
and
they
it's
do
just
like the whole video.
it just depends. Like it depends if they just want like a teaser for a song or if they want like a whole song, and like you just like kind of line the anime up with the song.
That's cool as fuck. I wouldn't mind doing that for a song.
It's a lot of like old school YouTube used to do it. Like they just like I mean it's a new thing too, but a lot of the
Right.
first videos were like AMVs. I remember one of the first AMVs I ever seen. It was a Rayquaza versus Deoxys from Pokemon.
Okay.
and it was to Linkin Park in the end,
Oh
and
yeah, that sounds familiar. Not that
it
video,
like
just like I know what you're talking about.
it matched up so well, man. And it's just a battle scene from Pokemon, but
Right.
they I made one similar for my song Upgrade, and it was like a Rayquaza versus Deoxys, and YouTube actually took it down. It was one of my first AMVs I ever made, and YouTube was like, nope. And it wasn't even YouTube, it was Pokemon hit me for
Mm.
copyright. And so after that, I realized that I had to be really smart about what I uploaded and make sure it's original content, because if it's not, then they're just gonna take it down.
Right. And it's the whole copyright claim now is like fucking ruined YouTube. It
It's
really is.
it's
It's literally
so
ruined
bad.
it. Like people would get claimed for a 1 second clip of a thing that might be in a video, and they'll lose all the ad revenue for a video that they just created, and that's their job. So like, that's fucking bullshit. I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, it's changing a lot. Like the earlier YouTube days, that was the time to jump on that. But now everything's changing and there's all these new apps. So it's better to be like on the new wave before it blows up.
Oh yeah, I agree. I want to jump on more of like BitChute. I don't know if that's like an app. I don't know what that is. My friend tells me about it all
BitChute,
the time and tells me to upload my shit there too. Yeah, BitChute.
yeah, it's a good place. It's basically the thing I've seen it most useful for is like backup. It's a backup platform.
Yeah, I need a lot of backup platforms, and any platform that gets any views is good. Better than nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, well, you got to think like BitChute's a new thing, so everyone's going to be going over there and checking it out, and they're more
Right.
likely to, well, I mean, I guess they're more likely to recommend your video. YouTube was recommending your videos to me, so I would just
Right.
stick with YouTube, whatever's working for you. Just keep doing
Right.
that.
Yeah, I'll just keep doing that, but I think uploading all of it to BitChute as a secondhand source. So like I'll upload my videos there and then upload them to BitChute because there'll probably be a lot of different people on BitChute than even on YouTube.
It'd probably be smart, man, because you never know what's going to change on these platforms, and they could always go
Right.
down. You always got
And
to be ready.
they just made it a law, not a law, but a rule in their platform where, they can deactivate your whole account if you're not commercially viable in their eyes. And that could literally mean anything. What does that mean? It can mean anything because they can say anything they want because it's their platform. Say, oh, sorry, they're just not commercially viable anymore for us, so we just took them down.
Yeah.
And I don't talk about really controversial stuff on my YouTube channel, thank God, but my Twitter got banned because I was saying some stupid shit on there, and it wasn't even
Yeah,
stupid shit.
man. What's
It
that
was
all about? What
James.
happened? Oh, you said something to someone.
Yeah, who was it? James Charles and Shane Dawson were in the same tweet, but it was Keemstar. You know who that is? Keemstar. He was
Mm.
tweeting about them, about their makeup, and all I said was something like "bunch of queers," and they're both gay. They're all gay. Anybody that buying that makeup's
Exactly.
probably gay. And I was like, "Bunch of queers," and I guess somebody reported it, and it was like a week or two after the tweet was even sent out. I don't know what the fuck, what the hell happened. So they sent me a thing and said, "Sorry, your account has been permanently suspended."
Well, all it takes is like one person to report you, and then, or
Right,
I guess a couple people. If they just all report you, then they
right,
decide that that's it. They're gonna like take you
yeah,
down or mute
and
you or whatever.
yeah, we're in that. Yeah, I was muted for a while because I was a troll, so I was on their like shit list anyway, and I had been suspended before for like a week, and I was like, whatever, and yeah, I got banned. So fuck Twitter anyway. I don't use Twitter really. All my Twitter followers were Trump supporters because I was trolling on the Trump tweets. So like every single time Trump would tweet, I would always tweet something like, "We love you, Mr. President. Thank you for your service." And every single person would be hating on me or loving me. It was like, "Fuck you, Trump hasn't given any service to this country," or it'd be like, "Yeah, we love our president," and then they followed me, and I was getting fucking millions of impressions a month just tweeting at
Holy
Trump.
shit!
I like
What?
millions, literally millions, and I was getting so many views, and it was crazy. And then I was like, running into the election because it's coming up in 2020. I was like, dude, my views are going to be out of control on Twitter because of this election. And then I couldn't even make it because they banned me. I was like, son of a bitch.
That's
You just
crazy. And you can't just like make a new one or start over? Or...
No, I mean, I could. It just wouldn't really be that great because if anybody noticed that it was me again, because I would obviously promote myself again, and they noticed that it was my Twitter, then they would ban that Twitter too. So pretty much, I can't forever. Isn't that weird too? For life, I can't go on Twitter, like literally ever again for the rest of
That's
my life.
insane, man. That's like saying like, oh, you can't get on Facebook for life. Like what?
Right. It's like, what are you talking about? And you can get on there. You just can't make a page and start talking to people. It's fucked.
That's so crazy. It's weird how they could just like pull the plug like that.
Right.
I
You
mean,
see
but
that?
it could be the same for YouTube. It could be the same for
Right.
anything.
Yeah, so I think having those backup accounts are a great idea.
Yeah,
And
it
especially with
definitely
YouTube.
is now that you make that point.
Because like it's so hard to get your shit out there. Like if Instagram bans me, I would be so screwed. I wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it, but I mean, one of the things is you always got to be ready. Like if your main thing went down, what would you do? And
Right.
you always got to keep that in the back of your mind.
I'm about to get on that text gang that where people can text you because it's like a text app or whatever. I need to get on one of those things where a bunch of people can text me and then I'll save their contact info on the app. And then whenever I drop new shit, I'll just text them all in the app. So I'm like, fuck,
Yeah, you could just text them. That's
right.
smart.
And then they get the message right to their phone, which is fucking almost 100% open rate. Everybody will look at the text.
The one thing you could get like straight to them with.
Right. I've already got people on an email list, and that's just like about it, though. I am on a text list too, probably. Did you see that Trump got impeached? I assume you
Did
did.
he?
Like,
Did he really?
yeah, you didn't see that?
I've been seeing memes about it, bro, but I didn't know if it was for sure.
Oh yeah, they got him. I mean, it doesn't mean anything,
He
but they
said they got him.
they didn't. Yeah, they fucking got his ass. They've been trying,
Damn,
and they
bro.
got his ass. I was like, damn, they fucking got him.
That's pretty brutal, man.
They went after him with the jugular, and they cut that shit, and they got him. But nothing's
That's
gonna happen. It's just weird.
that's more likely than not, because he's just all over the place.
Yeah, he doesn't help his own situation by any means. By being who he is, he doesn't help. If he was
So what
logical,
does that mean? The next guy up will take over? Or is that what happens?
now he's still president. The Senate would have to vote for removal, which they won't. So he's still going to be president until the end of his term, and then he could still run and then be reelected. So I don't know what their plan is if that happens. What the fuck?
That's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. The laws in this country are weird. I don't mind Trump though. He's not that bad. People give him a lot of
Yeah.
shit. I'm like, chill out. It's just like, how much has your life changed ever since a president has ever taken office? It's like such a little amount.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
But,
it's just like the people, it's never going to be the way they want it. So, I mean,
right.
it's obviously a lot harder for him. He's got to make a lot of big decisions.
Yeah, fuck that. I could never be president.
Nah,
It's
man,
like
that would suck.
I could barely run my own band. How the fuck am I gonna run the whole country and other
Yeah,
countries?
how
It's
the
like,
hell are
what
we
the
going to run a
fuck?
country?
I can't do that shit. I'm too stupid.
That's silly. Oh, so one thing I wanted to ask, I noticed in I'll Be Just Fine, you were smoking a cigarette. Like that was like one of the, interesting things that stuck out about that video. And now you vape a lot. Like you're always vaping. What made you make that transition?
It's funny that you noticed that because I was telling the guy I didn't even really notice it in the video after it was done, but when I was recording it, I was like, yeah, I just don't really want to be walking with nothing in my hands. I feel like a cigarette would probably be the best thing just because I'm smoking anyway. So I probably just walk around with a cigarette, act like it's a normal day, filming a music video. And so it's funny that you noticed that. That was like interesting. 'Cause I was like, hell yeah. I want people to
Well,
notice
like it
something
was
else going
like
on.
You said as smoke fills up my lungs, and then you went to hit the cigarette. So
Right, yeah. I like those little parts of things. But yeah, so I always wanted to quit just because I sing and I'm like, I don't fucking want to smoke all the time. And I'm like, I need to get off of it. So my friend gave me a vape after we came back from Vegas. He was like, yo, hit this vape. I was like, fuck yeah. And I found a flavor that I really liked. The biggest vape problem I had was finding a good flavor. So I finally found
what
one.
was the first flavor?
It was a Twist E-Liquids flavor, and I texted my friend first that always had the best shit. I was like, "What's the best shit? I need the best flavor you could possibly think of." And he told me one. It was Pink Punch Lemonade by Twist E-Liquids, and he was
Oh,
like,
okay.
Go get that shit." I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then I hit it, and it was game over. I was a full vapor at that point. I quit cigarettes entirely, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I love vaping." And then I got sponsored by Twisty Liquids for a period of time, and they sent me like boxes of fucking vape juice. It was crazy. And
Damn, bro, that's pretty cool.
yeah, I just hit them up and was like, "Yo, I'm vaping on my live streams. A bunch of people are on there, and they're always asking what I'm vaping. You may as well send me some shit, and I'll just talk about you guys." And then they were like, "All right, we'll join this live stream. Make sure you're telling us the truth." I was like, "I am. Come on the live stream tonight. I'll fucking do it." And then they did, and then I did, and then they sent me a bunch of shit. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" They sent me hats and T-shirts and a bunch of shit. It was cool. I was like,
The
"Fuck
full
yeah!"
deal.
Do you smoke cigarettes?
No.
Yeah, I still smoke cigarettes too. I mean, it's just good. I like to have cigarettes, but I like vaping. Now I'm just smoking cigarettes and vaping. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I figured you just went over to the vape, but I'm sure it helps you like stay away from 'em a little bit.
Yeah, this is cigarettes. That's like a stress reliever. I don't even know if it actually relieves stress. I just know when I'm stressed, I want a fucking cigarette in my hand. So I'm like a puff up.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's just like that like just that relief. Like you got a cigarette, like you're just chilling.
right, it's fucking good, man. And it's cool what your music. I was gonna talk to you about this earlier. Uh, it's cool that your music had that screamo effect. I was fucking down with that. That shit sounds cool as shit. Like it
Right,
was like
right.
screamo, but you had rapping sometimes and some singing sometimes. It all added into this weird effect, and it was cool. I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
scream anymore though.
the vocal, well, no, I do. It's just not nearly as much.
Mm,
And like for me to achieve those kinds of vocals, it's really raw, like especially in those beginning songs. But eventually I got to where like I could properly project those screams. And I mean, once you get to that point, like that's a really good feeling. And that's what everyone knows me by is like my screams. And so I was like, you know what? Like I'm gonna do something a little different for a minute.
yeah, it's good to switch it up a little bit. It's you don't want to get bored, you know. And I also like to switch it up. I tried to rap, and it was funny because I had never rapped in any of my music. I just sang, and I said, you know what? I'm bored. I'm trying to get YouTube views. Let's put out a fucking YouTube diss track. I don't give a fuck. And
Yeah.
I just picked out a bunch of YouTubers. I was like, I'm gonna diss all them motherfuckers, and I did, and it was really funny. But then I was like, I put out an internet troll song because I was a Twitter troll, and I was an internet troll. Talked about being an internet troll in a rap song, and I was like, nah, I don't really want to be known as that guy, that's putting out rap tracks and shit. I'm like, I'm not a rapper, but I was like, I
Well,
do like.
it was like when I seen your rap and stuff, it was really taken lightly. Like it was kind of like, oh, he's joking around.
Right,
He's
yeah,
just
that's what I.
having fun, and
Right, it was a total
that's
joke.
what all that mattered, man. It was like it was still the songs were still good, and they still had melodies. It was an entirely different feel.
Right, yeah, and I was like, I don't want to be known as that guy. Like, I was like, fuck that. So I deleted it all from my YouTube. And then, but I was like, I really like to rap though. It's cool. So I was like, fuck it, let's rap on my new album, my new EP. And it worked out, I think, overall. Because
It
I
did.
actually,
It
I
did.
tried to rap and make it sound good and not like rap like a joke. Because that's how I tried to rap in my other songs. I was like, it's a joke. Who gives a fuck? Let's just make it sound funny. But
But
I
this
took it
was more
seriously.
serious.
Yeah, I was like, if this is going to be a Purple Heart song, it better not sound like shit. So
Yeah.
I like switching it
Well,
up. Cool.
it definitely had a new kind of feel to it for sure from any of your other music. And
Right.
But I mean, I think it's really cool. Like you record your guitar in there. Like
Hmm.
I noticed that there's a lot of guitar, and it's like what makes a Purple Heart song almost. But some
Right.
of them don't have guitar. Like some of them are just like
Yeah, I don't know. I think every single one actually has guitar.
all of them have guitar.
Maybe you don't notice it as much in some songs because of the electronics. Like you just don't get it. It is fully
Yeah, you just
electronic,
don't get it. Yeah, that's the one I was
but there's
thinking
actually
about.
still guitars in the chorus you could barely even hear. They're just
Okay.
like there in the background just to add some effects and some noises in the back. But and Weird the Angry, actually that was a dope song. I was cool as fuck with that song. But yeah, with that song too, I try to change it up just to get views. And like I was trying to bring in an audience that I wasn't having yet. And then I realized, fuck that. I should be making music for the people that are already listening to me, not the people that aren't listening to me. Why the fuck do they matter? I need to write music for the people
Right.
that fucking matter right now. So that's why I was like, fuck this shit. I'm about to put out the most emo shit I've ever done. And then that's why I was like, all right, I'm gonna put out this new EP. And that's when the whole thing started. After that song came out, I was like, fuck
So
yes.
what inspired you so much to make a whole EP just red wine?
Yo, I'm
You
drinking
like
it
red
right
wine
now.
that much?
Yeah, it was like an effect. When I put out "I'll Be Just Fine," actually, that's when it all started. It was like, I
Yeah, because I noticed some of your older videos almost had it said something about red wine EP or something.
I can't remember what I put. Maybe I talked about drinking or something. I can't remember, but
There's
that's when it.
a lot of stuff that led up to the album.
Right, yeah, "I'll Be Just Fine" was the head of that. It was like the start of okay, this is what's happening, and I just kept drinking. I was in Florida. I was drinking all the time, drinking red wine specifically, getting drunk and fucked up and getting all emotional in my brain. And then I wrote, "I'll be just fine." And then I just kept drinking and kept drinking and kept drinking. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna write this new EP called Red Wine and write it about all the shit that I've had to deal with over the last year, you know. And then, because all
Okay.
the other shit that had written was like all previous stuff that I already had ideas for, you know. And Red Wine was more like, what the hell's happening right now that I want to talk about. So
It
it
was
felt really
relevant to what's actually happening.
right. It felt refreshing to go in and put that shit down. But I think a lot of the stuff that I was talking about, a lot of people can actually relate to that already listen to the music, you know?
Exactly, man. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know that we've all been there, but we've all like, at least subliminally, like had that crutch or like something that we use to like just chill out or mellow out. And
Right.
I like, especially wine. I could really relate to the wine because it's like I love wine.
Oh, yeah. And like, I used to drink a lot of liquor, and I was like, I would just get blacked out drunk, just too much. But wine, it's like I found my sweet spot. I was like, this is the shit. It gets me there. If I do this and smoke a couple bowls, I'm fucked. I'm feeling real good.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
weird
a good
time.
release, and I mean, it helps writing music too.
Oh yeah,
You're
especially when you're
more
just sitting
relaxed.
here completely alone, smoking and drinking, and you're just plugged up with a synth and just like with nothing, just like let's see what happens. And that's when "I'll Be Just Fine" come out. I was like, the first chord. I don't know if you remember it, but it's like just the keyboard,
Dun,
right, and it goes, whatever the keys are. But I was like, fuck yeah, I can write something with that. And always now, I didn't even know how to play piano, but you probably even know you got to learn instruments by yourself. You can't just know an instrument. You got to fucking learn that shit. You got to play it
right.
and fucking learn it. So I was like, fuck it, let's play piano. And then "I'll Be Just Fine" was the first song I ever played piano on. And usually when I go in with my producer, he changes up quite a bit of stuff. Not quite a bit, just like adds more elements. But he didn't even change much on that song. I actually wrote almost every piece of it, which is weird.
So
Which
you
I
already had the piano parts and everything written.
right, the piano was like the main parts of it, but like the choruses of it, I wrote all of it. I wrote. It was weird. He changed up the guitar solo at the end, but that was basically it. I had the guitars written, the drums written, everything was ready, except he changed up a little bit of the guitar at the end.
So that made his job a little easier.
Oh yeah, his job is easy when I go in with a full song. Now, other times I'll go in with like three chords and say, yo, let's make a song out of this. I got this idea with these 3 chords that I think will be cool. I don't know yet. Let's do it. And then, but he likes that too, because he's a producer. He's been doing it, since Never Shot Never, even before that. And he knows how to fucking put together a song at the snap of a finger. And he likes to build songs, because whenever he works with other bands, usually if there's a 5-band song, usually every band member wants their specific parts in the song. And with me and
Right.
Kevin, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Whatever sounds good, I'm down to do. So we get to experiment a lot with stuff, and with other bands, he doesn't really get that because they already
It's
know what they
just you
want.
and him getting to figure out how you're gonna. It gives him more of a hands-on because there's not so many hands in the pool.
Exactly. So him and I have a really close relationship building up songs. And sometimes I'm just literally sitting there, not doing a fucking thing, just listening to him build a song. Like, you just don't get it. He wrote the whole thing, except for the lyrics. I wrote those. But he wrote the whole song. I just went in, I said, let's make a poppy song with EDM. Let's do that. He's like, all right, I got some ideas. And then, like, 4 hours later, we got a song. And it was cool as fuck. He's cool.
Man,
That's what I recommend getting
that's
a good
insane.
producer.
Like, such a good producer, and that's cool that like he's willing to help you do all that. Because
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it makes it easier for us. Like if we can like sit there and focus on lyrics or
Mm-hmm.
like what's really gonna come to mind.
Right. Now, there's certain, like, parts of songs where I'm like, this has to stay the same that I have an idea for, but a lot of the time, I just don't care. I mean, I do care, obviously, but I know what he's going to do is going to be good. That's why I'm paying music
Right,
to
and
him.
you're able to portray how you're feeling through your song. So
Right, exactly.
y'all are both getting to like create that input into the
Right.
song.
And that's good that you have a producer. And you notice, like, all the people that you probably like, I like, everybody has a producer. Even people that are big have producers. And I think a
Yeah,
lot of
you
people
kind
could
of
do
have
use.
to.
Yeah, I think a lot of people could do good if they went and got themselves a producer and stopped recording
Yeah, a
it themselves.
producer or a mentor.
Hmm.
I was always told like get yourself a mentor, and so that was my thing. Like I literally told my friend Chris or Shinigama. I was like, be my sensei. That's what I told him, and I was like, just show me the way, pretty much. And I mean, just find yourself a mentor. Find someone that's willing to like guide you.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people just do it themselves and then it never works out. But I think that's like a growing process. I used to do the same shit, but that's when I didn't know any better. And then you work with a producer that knows what the fuck's going on. You're like, holy shit, this is what I'm supposed to sound like? And I've never even sang.
It's just eye opening.
It really is. You're like, damn, that's what a song sounds like, and I'm on that song. That's my song, and people are gonna know that's me. That's fucking crazy. I never sang before though. Before Purple Hearts, I was always the guitar player, and then I was like, fuck it, let's record a song with me singing my lyrics that I wrote, and because I've always wanted to be a lyric writer, I've always had lyrics. I'm just like, I don't know if I could sing that. I'm just like, I know other people that could sing it. I just don't know that I can. I was like, fuck that, let's just go do it. And then I had a producer that knows how to record vocals. And I'm like, damn, dude, I can't believe that's me singing on my song. That's crazy. Because when it first started,
You didn't realize you had it in you to do that.
right. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to drop this track. I'm just going to pay this guy one time and see what happens. I was like, for all I know, it's going to suck dick. And I would never put that out. Because I would never put out a song that I personally wouldn't listen to. Like, if I
Right.
wouldn't listen to this, why the fuck would I put it out and make other people listen to it? But when I first heard it, I was like dying. Fucking made me so happy. And I was like, damn, I actually sound like a rock artist. I could put something out with this. So I think everybody
So
should get a producer.
oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It makes it easier. And I mean, like they'll take you a long ways. They'll give you a
Mhm.
lot of creative input. Like he was always telling me like, "Nah, that ain't gonna work. Do it again
Right.
but do it better. And you can do better." And like sometimes you're not gonna tell yourself that. Like you need someone to push you, to
Exactly.
encourage you.
Especially with vocals. Like, I go in there and I knock it out. I'm like, all right, that's pretty good. And then he's like, nah, that ain't gonna work. You need something better than that.
Exactly.
And he's always like, you got to make that shit good. You got to do it good. And because he knows what you need, and he knows he doesn't want to sound like shit either. He's like, I need to put out something that
Exactly.
sounds good. And none
He
of
he
my
knows exactly, like he already has it in his head how it's supposed to sound.
right. So usually when I go in to record vocals, I do like one run through of the whole thing, just with like no recording. I think he records anyway, just in case something's good. But I'm not like doing it. I'm just like showing him the whole idea, and then we'll go back and do the whole thing again, like verses, choruses, all that shit, basic shit.
Okay. Kind of get your placement down and then go back and do it for real, for real.
Right. So like, yeah, he'll probably record like one single take of me singing the whole thing, not stopping at all, and then we'll go back and say, all right, this is what we need to start with, and go from there, and build it up. And a lot of my stuff, choruses especially, are copy paste. So like, I'll just record one chorus and then just copy it and put it on the other ones.
Right.
That's
Well, I
basic
mean,
shit.
it works a lot. I mean, a lot of people do that.
Right. Yeah. I think some parts like we change up, like the ending parts, because sometimes you want it to be a little different. You don't want every part to sound the exact same. So maybe you'll end it differently than you did the first time. I don't know. Music is
Right.
awesome. It's just cool as fuck.
Yeah,
You can
it
do so
is,
many
man.
things.
But it's so interesting. Like, it's interesting how much easier it is now to do.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of scary how personal music gets. Like with art, especially like painting. When you go to an art studio, it's like you don't really know who the artist is when you look at their painting. It's like, oh, it's a painting.
Right.
When you go watch a movie, these people are artists. They're actors. They're artists, literally, by what they're doing. But it's like they're acting like somebody else. They're not acting like themselves. So it's like when you see somebody act, you're like, okay, I don't know who that person is. I don't fucking know anything about them. I just know that they're good at acting. But with music, it's like usually what you're talking about in the music is about kind of who you are. You're usually talking about yourself, your life, shit that's going on. So
Right.
when you listen to music, you can kind of learn about who that person is. And it's weird that people can really connect with that. Like, other than being an actor or a famous painter, people don't like connect with those people like they do with musicians.
Exactly. Well, it's we're always told like you got to be real with your fans and like the more like straightforward you are, like like the more they'll respect that. And so now it's like some artists, they're just so raw about it. It just depends. Like some artists they're a little more like they kind of like hide it to where you really can't, you can interpret it to however you want to interpret it. But
Right.
I noticed like when I was listening to your music a lot, it was a lot of like straightforward, like really raw, like this is what's going on at this point in time. And that's really cool, man, because it's like it's so relatable, and you probably would never even think it was that relatable, but it's just like you really get to like it's not even like a little part of a song that I relate to. It's like the whole song, like every word down
Right.
word to word, like I relate to that.
Right. I feel that. That's why, I mean, I like to write songs. Like, certain words will make it too specific, and you have to change those to make it more fluid and more able to be interpreted in different ways. I don't know what a good example of that would be. Maybe like, let's say you're saying music is what saved me, right? That's my lyric. Let's say music is what saved me. And instead of saying music, say this, right? This is what saved me. Because this can mean anything. Music means a specific thing, music. That's it. But when you say like this is what saved me, it can mean a girl or a boy or a relationship or a job or a fucking anything.
It's more
So
relatable.
I try to do things like that, certain things where I'm not being too specific, but other times, you just get specific with things, and it is what it is. And some people can still relate to that. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just really raw. Like you can almost like put yourself in that situation, and like if you've gone through something similar, you kind of like it takes you back.
Right. And it's weird that a lot of people, like, I'll be just fine. A lot of people are like, yo, that was the first time I heard it, man. Yo, that's my favorite song. And it's weird that I was just drunk in Florida on a business trip, like sitting in a kitchen writing that song, just fucking letting it all out. And it couldn't be, that was like the part where I was like, I gotta get real. I can't be doing this bullshit like I'm doing. I gotta let this shit out. And it's weird
Yeah.
how many people were like, dude, that song, that's the shit. And that's the song where the YouTubers were like, I want to shout this song out because I like it so much. I was like, damn, and it's now my biggest video. And I dropped Love and War. I was monetized. I was getting recommended. I was pushed. And that video was my first video in 2016, January. And I'll Be Just Fine came out in October of 2018, I think. Was it 2018? Maybe 2017. I can't fucking remember. It's been so long. But it was years. And now I'll Be Just Fine has like 10,000 video views. And Love and War has like 8, maybe 9. So it's crazy that I put that video out much later, but it got more views in a lot quicker of time. Because people really got that shit. They're like, dude,
They
this
were
is
able
the
to
shit.
gravitate towards it.
Right.
It's a really well structured song, man. It's perfect. There's not any flaws with it. It's just like it's original. Like it's an original Purple
Right.
Heart song.
That's,
So
yeah.
I think people dig that more than like something that sounds like everything else. Like it was so new
Right.
hearing that. It was
And
just like there was no other band I could be like, this is like Purple Hearts. And so that like gets you telling people about it because it's like, hey,
right.
this is Purple Hearts. It's something new. It's unlike
Right.
anything you've ever heard before.
Right. And I think you can get this too. And it's like, it's so hard to compare myself to other bands. They're like, yeah, but what do you sound like? Because if nobody's heard you and they're like, what do you sound like? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like me.
It's hard to pinpoint it.
Right. I'm like, Blink 182, but not really because I don't really sound like them either. It's just like the closest thing I got. I don't know.
You just name off like your influences or like what you listen to, but it
Right.
was never your goal to be those bands.
Right. It's just like I take influence from them and you can kind of hear it. But it's also weird. You can probably get this too. I'm not even like with I'll Be Just Fine. I'm feeling good with that. But like right now, I'm not even to the point where I want to be as a musician. Like these are all good songs, but I'm not like there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you still see room to grow.
Right. And it's crazy. It's just like what else can I do? But even with Love and War, I see so much of a difference between that and now. I'm like, what will the difference be with the same time in the future?
Well, I mean, it's just like it's consistency, man. Like as long as you stay consistent, then it'll be all right. And like nowadays we live in a world of just go, go, go. Like you just got to
Hmm.
keep creating content. And if you're not, you're left behind. So,
Oh yeah. And I think what we were talking about earlier with those beats, that's just like a great way to do it. And my cousin used to do that. He's a rapper and he used to rap over these beats. He's like, yo, I got this song and let me play this beat on YouTube. I'm like, don't play that shit. Get your own beat. Make your own beat. Go to Fruit Loops or fucking GarageBand, make your beat, rap over that. And it
right.
wasn't until, really, it wasn't until you sent me that collab track that I realized, I'm like, holy shit, this beat market's like a whole new game.
Oh,
Because
it's
it's
insane,
free
man.
downloads. You can download it for absolutely free and just put up a whole track of your own. It's
But
fucking
the
nuts.
thing is, like, if you can, like, write your own melodies and you can take that to a producer, or you can even, like, produce your own beats yourself, that's what gives you an edge over all
Hmm.
these other guys.
Yeah,
Because, anyone can take a beat and record over that beat, but
right.
to truly sit there and write your own, like, instrumentals and to put in that time, that's what really separates it.
Right. I think like doing that is more like an intro to what's coming next in your future. Like a single or whatever, like multiple singles would be to promote an album or an EP. Like, yo, this is what that's just gonna sound like, right? And I think that's a way that you could promote those beats is to like put out a bunch of singles with those beats, and then when you put out an EP or a full length, produce that shit on your own. Don't buy a whole bunch of beats, like produce it and make it sound good. But like give it like an intro, like this is what it's all gonna sound like, in a year or two. Give me some time. I'm just working some shit out. Like when you go to a stand-up comedy show, you don't see the finished product until it goes on to Netflix. You know, they have to go
Right.
to like shitty bars, not shitty bars, just like bars, and underground clubs and stuff like that. So they're not like in front of huge crowds. There's like 50 people and they're doing their whole bit. They're just kind of writing it out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And I think that's what we're doing with music too. We're just putting out a single. Hopefully this works. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, I'll figure something else out for my next song. And then you get to the EP or the album, and it's like, okay, I've perfected this product that I want to put out right now, and this is it. Here you go. And I think you did a really good job with that EP, that self-titled EP. And I'm excited as fuck for my Red Wine EP. I think it went well. So I think we're on the right
absolutely,
path.
man. Like that Red Wine EP, it had a lot of hype built towards it.
Yeah. I try to promote the fuck out of shit before I drop it. I'm like, I can't just drop something. I'm not Beyonce. I can't drop something and a million people are going to listen to it. I got to build that hype. Thinking, yo, you've never heard anything like this before. You need to hear this shit.
It's a grind. We really got to work for what we get.
Yeah, it sucks dick. But it's a cool grind. I don't mind it. I could be grinding out a promotion at McDonald's. So I'm glad I'm not doing that.
Well, I know like you invest, all your money into your music, and like sometimes that gets hard and you might like feel discouraged or whatever, but do know that like no matter what, man, like you're gonna have listeners and you're gonna have fans, and you've got a really good sound. And I think like if you just keep on making music, that you're gonna like be one of the biggest artists out there.
Well, fuck yeah, man. I appreciate that. I hope it works out. I think you have the same thing going on. I literally jam your shit all the time up in my car. I got my friends jamming your shit.
Bro.
I'm not even joking. Someone's like, yo, who was that? I'm going to jam that shit now. I'm not lying. This is all real. And that's how the word starts. So, like what you said, I think not giving up is a good thing. Because the more a snowball starts snowballing and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you got a huge fucking thing going on. But people that
you
give
never
up,
know what it could become, man.
You're never going to make it if you give up. That's the biggest way to fucking lose, is just to stop doing it.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
But I guess I want to start wrapping this thing up. But the whole podcast name is called "But Do You Have a Real Job?" I'm sure people have asked you that before. Potion, do you have a real job? So I have a couple questions. What was your first job ever?
My first job ever, it was probably like sweeping floors for my dad.
What was your first job as a paying citizen? You're getting paid to do it by a company.
Probably a painter.
What did you do? You painted? Like
walls?
Walls?
I painted houses. I painted all sorts of shit, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, it sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, it was honestly really sketchy.
Yeah, what was your least favorite job out of all the jobs? And your favorite? And least favorite?
My least favorite, like, was probably like doing construction. It feels like you're just like so lost in it. And my favorite job was probably, it was probably painting, but it's more or less whenever like I started working my way up to where it was like it wasn't so hard anymore.
I feel that painting isn't too bad. I guess it just sounds like so boring.
It's not bad.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
I fucking hate working. I don't want to work, dude. I just want to do this, and that's it. This doesn't seem like work. This seems like fun.
Exactly, man. Well, maybe one day we can do this and get paid for it.
Yeah, no fucking joke. The day I can make money off my art, ooh, I'd kill, man. And in your opinion, what is a real job?
A real job is something you enjoy doing, not no shit that you don't enjoy. Like, don't do something day after day that you just hate.
Do you need to make money for it to be a real job?
To a point, you need to survive, but not a lot of money. Like, how many pairs of shoes do you need? How many pairs of pants do you need? Like, right. we all act like we need these things, and it's all a lot of stuff that we don't need. And it's like right. Your happiness is so much more important than money, and your time is more important than money, because you can always make more money, but you can never get your time back.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I think about it all the time. It fucking sucks. Your time is dwindling away.
Time is way more valuable than money.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. Like if I had that kind of money, I would just give it back away to the people. I'm like, fuck it, let's help all these people out. Because like, fuck it, I don't need a bunch of money. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I want to pay off all my debt. I want to have a house and a car. But like, other than that, who gives a fuck? I don't need all that money. I want to give it away to people that need it.
Right.
Like,
There's people actually struggling.
like money doesn't make everybody happy, but shit, it could take a huge weight off somebody's back if you're like, what's really fucking you up right now, and then pay it.
It just depends on what you do with it. Like like if a homeless person ever comes up to me, like whatever I have, I try to help with. I mean, it's not like you can just
Right.
like not have sympathy for those people.
Right now, imagine this. Imagine having so much money. You can go on the fucking sidewalk and pick a homeless guy. Say, fuck it. We're getting you off the street right now. We're going to get you into an apartment. Or even opening like a small homeless community where you can get these people cleaned up, get them a job, get them into the society, get them back on the fucking job force, get them back in their own apartment. Because a lot of times these people don't have any purpose. They don't have a purpose. They don't feel like they have a purpose. They don't feel like anybody gives a shit. So they're just like, fuck it. I'm going to get drunk and high and smoke crack.
Right. It's just kind of they need that encouragement. They need some kind of
Right.
encouragement.
Yeah. Hopefully, if I ever make it, I can do that for people. You never know. I want to be that guy that people
Oh,
like,
surely, man.
Yo, I need my rent paid. I got you. I got that rent, dog. How about let me buy you a house? I mean, I'm just talking out of my ass.
But I mean, small things, man. Small things like you can help people out with it.
Oh yeah.
It'll work up to those bigger things. I mean, eventually, I believe you're gonna do like a lot of good with your music, man. And what you choose to do with that money and what you choose to do with that name is all up to you.
Yeah.
That's what'll like define who Purple Hearts is.
I agree. We're gonna fucking see. I tell you that. And I hope to see good things with you. You got some cool shit going.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I just want to see like people do like chase their dreams and keep doing like, if they want to do music, do music. If you want to like do anything in life, I think you can do it as long as you put your mind to it.
Right. Just fucking do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. So, insert Shia LaBeouf gif here. Just do it. So,
Just
all
do
right.
it.
I guess we're gonna end this podcast. Everybody, thanks for listening at home. Thank you, Potion, for coming on the podcast. Where would you prefer people go if they want to find your music?
You can find my music on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all major streaming platforms. Follow me on Instagram. It's Potion with 2 E's, and those are my links.
And it's Potion with 1 E on the rest, right?
Yeah, it's just Potion with 1 E.
All right, so everybody listening, go do that. Thank you again for coming on, man. This is a great podcast. It's cool having you on. I'll probably have to bring
Thanks
you
for
back
having
on
me, Purple
in
Hearts.
the future. We'll make it work. Cool, man. All right, we're gonna end this night. I hope you have a good rest of your night and happy holidays. Hope you have a good Christmas.
Cool, bro.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
Merry Christmas.
I'm out of here. Have a good night, man.
But do you have a real job?